love to celebrate. Think about the last time you significantly celebrated something special or someone special. Maybe it was a wedding where family and friends were all gathered together and there was great food and dancing and weird speeches from crazy uncles, and everyone was just enjoying each other's company. Or it could have been a birthday, a graduation, winning a grand final, or even celebrating your football team's win. And of course, when I say football, I mean real football, AFL, the game that was started by Australians in Australia in 1908, but we'll leave that there. For me, a big celebration we had as a family was a few years ago. It was our 30th year of marriage, so while we were on holidays, the girls and I planned a surprise ceremony on a gorgeous beach on an island of Phuket in Thailand. Murray, my husband, knew nothing about what we had organised. He just thought we were dressing up to go out for a special dinner while we're away. We had words of encouragement. Our girls read scriptures over us. We prayed together and had an amazing dinner at the restaurant that was right on the beach afterwards. It was a special, beautiful moment in time. And not only did we enjoy the celebration, but people all over the beach were smiling and entering into the excitement and celebration as well. There was a time of celebration when Jesus was entering into Jerusalem, and word got out really fast that the one who healed the sick and raised people from the dead and set people free was entering their city. So the people gathered and lined the streets, shouting out and celebrating with excitement. Jesus was coming by. We read about this in the Gospel of Matthew in chapter 21, verses 1 to 11. As Jesus and the disciples approached Jerusalem, they came to a town of Bethphage on the Mount of Olives. Jesus sent two of them on ahead. "Go into the village over there," he said. "As soon as you enter it, you will see a donkey tied there with its colt beside it. Untie them and bring them to me. If anyone asks what they are doing, just say, 'The Lord needs them,' and he will immediately let you take them." This took place to fulfill the prophecy that said, "Tell the people of Jerusalem, look, your king is coming to you. He is humble, riding on a donkey's colt." The two disciples did as Jesus commanded. They brought the donkey and the colt to him and threw their garments over the colt, and he sat on it. Most of the crowd spread their garments on the road ahead of him, and others cut branches from the trees and spread them on the road. Jesus was in the center of a procession, and the people all around him, they were shouting, "Praise God for the Son of David. Blessings for the one who comes in the name of the Lord. Praise God in the highest of heaven." The entire city of Jerusalem was in an uproar as he entered. "Who is this?" they asked. And the crowds replied, "It's Jesus, the prophet from Nazareth in Galilee." As I read the Bible, there are times when I imagine myself in the story. If that dramatic event were to play out today, what role would you have played? Or where would you have been standing in that story? Would you be in the crowd standing back just watching? Would you be clapping and waving palm branches? Would you be a dedicated disciple walking with Jesus? Would you be the one who just wanted to reach out and touch Jesus? Would you be a Roman guard? Would you be maybe one of the Pharisees? Or would you be the donkey? Hey, don't underestimate the donkey. He had a purpose. When answering, we need to consider this observation by modern therapist and counsellor Carl Rogers. He spoke of living a congruent life. By that he meant a life in which beliefs and behaviour agree. They are in harmony with each other, like a beautiful dance. So what one really believes, you will see in their actions and their behaviour. A Barna study, which is a study by a group of Christian researchers that gathered statistics. The survey revealed that 51% of Christians polled all possess attitudes, traits and actions that are more like the Pharisees than they are like Jesus. In other words, the attitudes and traits of most Christians were described as self-righteous and hypocritical. According to that same study, only 14% of Christians surveyed reflected attitudes and traits and actions of Jesus. How sad is that? So what are the characteristics of a Pharisee? Well, they were proud, they were self-righteous and critical and negative, hypocritical, self-serving, legalistic. They desired status, they restricted, they had an agenda, and they offended easy. Maybe you could relate to some of those things. I know I'm guilty of being like a Pharisee at times. What surprised me as I worked on this devotion is that how my attitudes and traits and actions still need work. I am definitely still a work in progress. What breaks my heart is that I think that the Pharisee in many of us is killing the mission of Jesus and the effectiveness of the church to go and make disciples. When we slip into the attitudes and traits of a Pharisee, we become so unattractive to the world around us. A quote from Mahatma Gandhi, leader of the Indian independence movement. He said this: "I like your Christ. I do not like your Christians. Your Christians are so unlike your Christ." And then there's another quote by Brennan Manning, author of The Ragamuffin Gospel. And he wrote, "The greatest single cause of atheism in the world today is Christians who acknowledge Jesus with their lips, walk out the door and deny him by their lifestyle. That is what an unbelieving world simply finds unbelievable." So what are the characteristics of Jesus that were so evident in his life and in his ministry? He was loving and kind, compassionate, forgiving and generous, humble, gracious, faithful, selfless. He was servant-hearted, committed, patient, self-controlled, wise, truth-filled, obedient and audacious. As Christians, followers of Jesus, we are to resemble him, live like he did and walk in his ways, to the point where people will wonder, what is it that is different about us, as we do our best to reflect the characteristics of Jesus. 1 John 2:6 is a great verse to finish on. Those who say they live in God should live their lives as Jesus did. What's it going to look like for you this week to live like Jesus?